housekeeping. This morning we went through how to have an authentic conversation, okay? But before we have the authentic conversation, we really want to have a look at how to prepare for the authentic conversation, okay? So as we do, we stick up our steps, and this is what we want to do in order to initiate an authentic conversation. So before you sit down and have your authentic conversation, with all the details set out in the previous video, we want to look at what you're going to do, what you're going to feel, how you can go about it, because it's all new, okay? And when something's new, as humans, we get terrified. I mean, think about if you went to bungee jump, you'd be flipping out. And, you know, you could say, well, having an authentic conversation shouldn't be that scary. Maybe, maybe not. But at the end of the day, it's still scary, okay? Because I know even with my own kids, teaching them as they grew up how to have an authentic conversation, it was still scary for me as the mum because we don't really know what the outcome will be. I mean, it is easier as a parent, but adult to adult, it can still be challenging. So, in order to prepare yourself for having an authentic conversation, your first key is you have to admit your fear over beginning something new. And like I just said, if you were going to do something new, oh look, if you've got anxiety, doing something new can be as simple as going to a new shopping centre, and it's terrifying, okay? So sitting down and having an authentic conversation about what's really happening inside of you and how vulnerable you feel, what you'd like an outcome to be, etc., is still terrifying, okay? If you haven't been raised in that environment, it can be absolutely terrifying, okay? So you've got to admit that you're afraid, and then once you've admitted the fear, we can do something about it. It becomes easier to work with. And fear is natural, okay? Deep fear is not natural. Fear that keeps us crippled is not natural, it's learnt. And we need to be able to learn to deal with the fear that's not natural. This fear is natural, and it is far easier to come to terms with and do something about, okay? Now, question yourself, what does your fear relate to? So, am I afraid the person's going to get up and leave? Am I afraid I won't be able to talk? Am I afraid what the outcome will be? Okay, what's going to be the outcome of this conversation? And the list can go on because it'll be as unique as you and I both are. Okay? But when you begin to have authentic conversations, you're actually able to express your fear and feel safe that you can talk about your fears. Okay? Because you get empathy and support. Discern your risk. So sit down and nut out with yourself, is this risk really valid? Or is the fear very... I'm getting all my words mixed up. Is your fear valid? Okay? And is the risk of facing your fear worth it? Okay? So it comes in both sides. Discern the risk, work out, okay, I'm afraid, it's a risk. So oftentimes you'll sit down and say, okay, it's a risk that I admit the fear and that I'm going to go and do something about it. Or is it a risk, as we go into key 4, that you're going to keep swallowing your emotions and feeling sick about the situation? Okay, so key 4 is don't swallow your emotions again, write them out. There's always something we can do. Now, if you have a phone, okay, you can record your voice on there. So if you don't like writing, no excuse for not getting your fear out. Sit down and voice record. Okay, there's even apps for it. Voice record what your fears are. And the reason why you do this is you've got to get it out of you in order to be free from it. Okay, so record it, play it back. Gives your mind time to see that really the fear is, it's not that it's unreasonable, but it's not valid. Okay, it's not a valid fear for you. If it is a valid fear, then you need to do something about it. Okay, you need some more self-awareness, personal growth, etc., in order that you can work out that the risk to speak up and own your fears is worth it. Remember, you can actually agree to disagree with yourself. Now that's going to sound funny and loopy, but it's not. Sometimes you've just got to say with the fear, well, okay, the fear's there, but I'm going to do it anyhow. I don't agree that the fear is valid. I don't agree that the fear is, that the fear is equal to the situation. Okay, so the fear is more like an overreaction. Okay, so I'm going to disagree with the fear and I'm just going to do it anyhow. All right, I'm going to go ahead and have my authentic conversation or set it up. All right, and you can also agree to disagree with the other person, and being able to do that makes it liberating. And then when you have authentic conversations, it means that you can sit down, have one authentic conversation, and then agree to disagree. Nothing's resolved just yet, but revisit it in a week's time and see where you both are at with what's happening in a week's time. Okay? And the process can go on. Now, it can't go on if you're both being unreasonable. Okay? And we will get further into how to break that stronghold, that strangle on your life where you're both not able to either agree to disagree or come to an agreement that suits both of you. Okay? Listen more than you talk. All right? You're going to hear more and you're going to be able to be more. It's not just empathy, more present. Okay? So if you are listening more than you're wanting to talk, you're going to be more engaged in this present moment than you are if you're busy trying to talk and talk over the top of someone. And that comes down to respect as well. So listening more than you talk also adds a measure of respect into the conversation. Okay? And in order to have a conversation that's authentic, we do need to respect each other as people. Okay? As a different soul who has a different take on life and a different observation and maybe even a different goal. We don't know yet. Okay? That comes later. Okay. Now, if you need help before you have your authentic conversation, right, get help. There is so much help available both online, so you don't even have to leave home. You can actually have a conversation with either someone like myself or professionals are online now, like psychologists. And I haven't come across a psychiatrist yet, but certainly in America, a lot of psychologists are actually online now. So you could even speak to a psychologist online. You could speak to a counsellor, different types of therapists, and they're all different. Everyone's different in what they do and how they approach getting you to a place where you understand what you need at this point in time. Okay? If you feel that you need to share this, share away, okay? People need this information around the world, okay? Because we want to do better for the generations that come after us. Whether they're our own kids, whether they're other people's kids, we want to do better. We want to have more authentic relationships where we can be open and honest about where we are at a heart and soul level at this stage in our life. Okay? I think that's all today. This is my recorded video for the May series of the Lady Tribe Challenge. So I wish you all the best. Always, if you have comments or questions, comment down below. If you want to do a hashtag replay, or even send me a private message if you have a question or you want a particular area addressed, we can do that too. And this week we will continue with the series about conversations we need to have. All right, bless you, and I will see you tomorrow. at midday Australian Eastern Standard Time and 9 p.m. Central Daylight Time in America. Thank you.